It's a beautiful winter day here in Gothenburg, and I was thinking this is like the perfect time to shoot a cinematic B-roll video with an iPhone. Take a look at this. You've seen the video now. I have not. So hopefully it's gonna turn out as well as I think. Right now I'm looking for a nice establishing shot. I'm thinking, we'll get some nice shots of the forest first, and then maybe we'll introduce me walking into the frame. I did bring another smartphone as a prop, so I was thinking I could film myself pulling out the smartphone out of my camera bag and then start shooting. All right, so a few things to keep in mind when shooting with a smartphone. Smartphones are really small, so you could easily get angles that you wouldn't be able to get very easily with a larger camera, so take advantage of that. Another thing, also related to the size, is motion. But again, the smartphone is really small. You could easily make maneuvers with your hand that you wouldn't be able to do with a camera or a gimbal, just because of the sheer size of the phone. I'm gonna shoot everything in 120 frames per second, 1080p, on the iPhone, what is it? XS Max, I think. Just to get some really nice slow motion, make everything look a little bit more epic. Found an area here that looks pretty cool. It's like this little path moving through the forest, and we have this big rock in the foreground. There's also a pretty cool old stone wall over here. I think we might be able to do something with this as well. This might even be, if we back up a little bit, a nice sort of revealing shot of where we are. Maybe this is where I make my first appearance in the video. We'll see, we'll see. All right, so I think this looks kind of cool, the moss-covered rocks. This would be a nice foreground. I was thinking maybe a motion like this, moving up, revealing the path. Keep in mind that it's always good to hold your smartphone as steady as you can. So whenever possible, whenever the shot allows it, hold your smartphone with two hands. I'm using the regular camera app that comes with the phone, so I'm not using any third-party apps. And what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna lock the focus over there somewhere so that all of this is sort of gonna be a little bit blurry in this video, in this shot. Now on an iPhone at least, what you do is to lock the focus and the exposure is just you tap on the screen and hold it for a second or two. That's gonna lock it to wherever you tapped on the phone. I'm sure it's similar on other brands as well. I'm just gonna do that a few times, a few different angles, small adjustments till you find a shot that you really like. That was epic. Remember, always double check before you leave the location for a new one. Because you don't want to get home and see that you screwed up the shot when you're about to edit. So, I mean, you have everything here. Just check it straight away. All right, so I think another shot right here, moving really, really close to the rocks and the moss. Lock the focus and exposure. Two hands again. Damn it. I hit the rock. We also have this tree over here that's pretty cool. I'm thinking a wider shot first, with the sun coming through the branches. And then maybe even a closer shot. Sort of the same kind of style with the lens flare coming through the branches, but you know, with the bark really being in focus, real tight. Still, 2 hands. Everything in 120p slow motion. Not bad, not bad. Let's do one more. All right, so I'm thinking this will be somewhere, like somewhere around here. This is where I will come in. I think we'll just do a wide static shot of me walking in. Then I also want to get a close-up shot of me like putting my boot down in the snow, because I think that could end up pretty cool. I'm using the snow as a tripod. Since I'm shooting everything in slow motion, I'm gonna be moving pretty fast. Otherwise, it's gonna end up being really slow and boring. A close-up shot of boot in the snow. All right, so we definitely have a lot of snow here. I really want to get one with some motion in it. Not really sure how, but you know, we'll try it. Remember, set your focus on exposure. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move forward and at the same time, move the iPhone forward and try to step in frame. It's not gonna be easy. This might have to be done a few times, we'll see. I'm gonna be so happy if I nail that on the first try. I was way too close to my shoes, but not bad though. I'll have to do it one more time. I think that's the one. Now I just want to get point of view of my feet walking. Slow-mo me walking up to a spot, maybe right here, where I can set down my backpack, take out the prop smartphone, and start to pretend shoot stuff with the other smartphone. So in this shot, I'm thinking I'm gonna walk, bring my hand up, and take my backpack off. So I'm gonna try to follow my hand with the iPhone. See how that works. Oh no, I see my last battery's dying. It's too cold out here. All right, I'm gonna get a few more shots and then I'll tell you about it all when we're back in front of the computer at home later on. All right? I can't believe I did not bring enough batteries. Such a beginner move. I did want to sit down here anyway and talk about this stuff, so I guess it all works out anyway. Well, by now I have seen the little cinematic iPhone edit that I managed to get out in the winter forest. I think it turned out pretty well. I like it. I did add a bunch of sound effects too to make it a little bit more exciting. Pretty much everything is in slow motion as you saw. And I also added this little faded look to the video. I'm gonna show you real quickly, just turn that off. And that's it. I don't know. I love that, like when it looks a little bit faded, like when the blacks are crushed and the whites are crushed as well. I just think that looks nice. I could do that to any footage, pretty much. I try to stop myself, but sometimes I can't. In the end, I didn't add any stabilization in Premiere Pro. This is all handheld 120 frames per second slow motion with a few speed ramps. And I think it turned out really well. Especially like if you're, like I said before, if you're holding the phone with 2 hands and shooting in slow motion, you're probably not gonna need to stabilize anything. This is another great tip, by the way. You can actually see me holding my breath at one point in the video. Let's see. Hand exposure. 2 hands again. Yeah, it's right here. 4 seconds, 4 minutes and 32 seconds in. Right before I shoot the close-up of the rock and the moss. I have my phone, holding it with 2 hands like I said, and I'm taking this deep breath, holding my breath as I shoot. Now this is a really great tip. I do this all the time. If I'm out shooting a whole day, I have to remind myself about breathing, because whenever I'm really concentrated trying to get a really nice, smooth, steady shot, I hold my breath. Just like snipers, you know, when I try to take a shot, they just take a deep breath, hold it in, and then pull the trigger. It was a really dark comparison, I guess. So just a few shots that we can talk about that you did not see me take are these right over here, about 20 seconds in, 25 seconds in. Picking up some snow, like crushing it in my hand. So it's falling down towards the lens actually. That's another thing that's really easy to do with your iPhone. I mean, because, you know, you wouldn't be able to do that by yourself with a gimbal. But I think what really makes these, I don't know, what is it, 15, 20 seconds of iPhone footage exciting is like the speed ramping, the jumping between fast and slow motion. I think that's it for this video. Let me know what you thought about the cinematic sequence. Was it cinematic enough? I hope this inspired you a little bit to go shoot stuff with your smartphone, and please let me know if you have any questions or comments. I'd love to read them down below, and if you enjoy this, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.